lifestyle.
need to know, when you're raising children and you're passing on societal values, they need to know what's right and what's wrong.
Well,
and
we just disagree, though. Why?
Homosexuality through the entire history of this country until 1961 was viewed as criminal, aberrant behavior. You know what Noah Webster called it?
And so was
called it a crime
slavery
against
was considered
nature.
normal for a long time. Would you have been in support?
I'm not going to go into what slavery is about. I know what I'm doing today, here, today.
Right, I understand. But do you want to protect your right to have all equal rights due to your ethnic background? Why do you make a decision
Because that's
that
not a moral decision. Being black or white is not a moral decision.
So we're not going to make it.
What you're saying is
I don't understand why you
a
think
civil right, but it's not a civil right. It's a moral decision.
I think maybe one of the big places where we disagree is that I don't consider one's sexual persuasion to be something you choose, and you seem to think that it's this lifestyle choice that people have made.
Well, it clearly is because of the experiences that have been well documented. You wouldn't have ex-gay groups if it weren't that case.
So would you choose to be gay?
It's not a question of whether I choose to
Well, I'm
be
just
gay.
asking, because I wouldn't choose to be gay, but I am.
I know of James Hart. Go and Google James Hartline Down syndrome.
I'm not interested in him. I'm asking you if you would choose to be gay, because it's obviously not a choice. People would kill themselves over it. They're so horrified by
People
it.
do all kinds of delusional things, and then you can't justify it because he's that way. We don't justify murder for that. We don't justify pedophilia for that. But for some reason or other, being gay gets an excuse, and it shouldn't. It's a behavioral choice.
How many gay individuals have you ever known closely in your life?
I've actually known probably half dozen. Not a lot, because that's not my community, but it's not like I don't talk with people.
So why have you
your life?
met these people and decided that their lifestyle is being harmful to you? Why I don't get why
I'm looking at
why
something.
we need to maintain this gender binary of you have to have a mom and a dad and you have to have a male and a female.
Because words have meanings, and the society adopts those meanings and teaches them to the next generation in the schools, on the media, in the entertainment industry, and that's viewed as normative. Okay, that helps guide a society and make it better.
But what the LGBT community is saying is that normative is changing, and that folks like you need to accept that. And why do you need to have control over a community of people that are not harming you at all? It's not your child that they're telling, if they raise an adopted child, that's not harming your children. It's not harming anyone closely related to you. And they can raise a child in a healthy manner.
All right, talk to Don Burnett about his elementary school, his blog, his what you're saying just doesn't hold water.
I'm Don. What's your name? Sure. Hi.
Pleasure.
Same here.
Thanks for I was saying, how often in your life have you found homosexuality to be unsafe for your community? How has it in any way hurt you or made your community unsafe? Why do you find the need to intervene in gay marriages occurring?
Because
what good does it do you? Besides this moral issue of you feeling like the right thing is happening, besides your idea of what's good or bad, why does it have any other effect on your community?
It has everything to do because it's meant not as an end in itself, it's meant as a hammer against civilization. And essentially,
you're the population argument.
No. Essentially, what's going to happen is that I grew up on Dick and Jane Reader. See Dick and Jane run home to mommy and daddy. Once homosexual marriage is legalized, then you're going to have instant lawsuits which say that's discrimination because it doesn't say daddy and daddy and mommy and mommy. So all text, like for instance, my elementary school now, right now, has a gay, straight, transgender, queer, bisexual club in an elementary school. Okay? So the idea is to take our children
and expose them to other people's views.
No.
Well, that's got to be harmful for them to have some diverse, upbringing and hear other people's perspectives.
Kindergarten. Think about it.
Yes, kindergartners should know that there are lesbians and gays in the world, and it's okay for them to feel good about having sex with someone of the same gender. Why does that harm you? That's what I want to know. The idea scares people, but why does it hurt you? Why is it damaging to you in your community? To open children's minds to that idea early on. What's wrong? I don't see how that's harmful to a child. A kindergartner shouldn't know that there are lesbians in the world. Is that what you're telling me? Because they might then decide to like
kindergartners. Think about that. Do they need to know? For instance,
we're not letting them into R-rated movies.
Wait. Relevant to our discussion.
Okay, I'm trying.
Within the last month, in Helena, Montana, of all places, the school board wanted to introduce sex education curriculum, which included teaching kindergartners the physical act of sodomy. Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't think there should be sex ed for.
No. But I'm saying, regardless of what you may think, the movement as a whole has enough power to be able to reach into the school district of Helena, Montana, and actually propose this, whether or not they get it or not.
Right.
See, 40 or 50 years ago, that would have been considered outrageous. Anybody who tried to do that would be arrested. But now, as they said earlier, morals change. That's the whole idea, change our morals. And so if you can change our morals, then you can warp our children. Do you really want, when you have children and grandchildren, do you really want your children to be homosexual?
I don't care. I want them to do what they want. I want to give them the freedom. I was born into a very typical gender dynamic, raised to think that I should be
gender dynamic?
Be the dynamic of a man and a woman. I have a mom and a dad.
Okay.
I was raised that way. I grew up thinking I'm supposed to be attracted to women. I like having sex with women. I also like having sex with dudes. And I didn't discover that until later in my life. But the last thing I want is for my child to feel badly about it, because I can't talk to my dad about that issue. Because he holds the same kind of viewpoints as you. Is that it's damaging to our community for me to want to have butt sex. And I don't understand how that in any way hurts a child.
Forgive me for putting it this way. No man
will do what?
have son.
No man will. I'm guilty. So you're saying I'm not a man? Is that what you're getting at? Oh.
What I'm leading to is that when we show them, we can. Well, let me complete the sentence as quick as I can. We can show up with biological life. But that doesn't.
How about if you have both?
What are the foundations of our civilization for the future that we're going to transmit down to the generations? Are we going to teach our children
openness, caring,
diversity? Right. Well, if you want to see what brought me here, ultimately when I first started, what brought me here was openness, we'll call it. 20 years ago, I heard that there were child molesters marching in the San Francisco Pride Parade. I didn't believe it.
They're also in our churches.
Oh yeah, but I didn't believe it at that time. So I grabbed the camera to see if it was true or not. And I found them in the homosexual parade. In fact, I filmed them about 5 years at least in a row before I stopped.
Okay.
Well, what I'm leading to is that the natural progression of homosexuality, the natural movement of the entire movement as a whole, is what's so-called freedom. Okay, or freedom to change the morals. So once you change the moral foundation of our nation from here to there, you don't. The intention is not to stop here. It's to go that
straight into the depravity of hell, which is
right.
I mean,
random orgies on the street.
And you're arguing against, gay rights by saying, well, at least, then we'll have, pedophilia or whatever. I mean, we'll take each thing as it comes. If people are saying,
as it comes, right?
Yeah. I mean, argue each thing on its merits rather than trying to proclaim a slippery slope.
That's why when you accept this merit here, this evil here, you'll accept this evil here, and you'll accept that evil there.
I don't think
the issue is that so many of us don't think it's evil.
Well, of course.
And that you want to create laws that prevent us from expressing.
Well, see, there are laws against murder right now. You do
legislate. There's no
comparable acts.
I'm sorry?
Murder is not comparable to having gay sex.
Even like
I'm saying it's an example of legislation of morality.
Yeah.
Okay, we legislate morality in order to. Now there's still murders, yes, but there's not as many murders as if we said denied the law to murder and say that's discrimination. I'm sorry?
Murder to two people in consensual act.
What I'm saying is that
murder affects you. If somebody kills me, I'm dead. If two guys get married, it doesn't affect me in any way.
When I use that as an example of immorality.
What's the morality have to do? How are they bothering you? What are they doing to you that you have to...
I've asked him that question. He's just concerned that it's going to lead to a more evil life for everyone.
You have a cultural change.
We already have it. You just haven't braced yourself for it well enough, I'm afraid. Because it's going to happen.
Or the fact that...
You're in the increasing minority. And you can continue to put up a fight.
Well, of course we continue to put up a fight.
Because you harken back to biblical, language that's thousands of years old.
No.
And you think that-
It is not. It is above. It is above.
These guys are either homophobes or assholes.